I've been carrying my own reusable cutlery for about 3 years now to put an end to the requirement of single use cutlery from my end. Only 9ish months ago, I finally stitched myself a proper kit using old leftover cloth from fashion design days so I could carry them in a more organized way. So, this was soon after 2020 when all my hoop dreams I'd been working towards got buried and I returned to family after decades of chasing those dreams myself. Nothing new was purchased for this to manifest. I've been strictly against couriers because of the waste generated, so stopped everything completely since 2020. I had hardly ever fallen for online shopping or ordering anything, making exceptions of a trolley for India's Got Talent and one book a follower suggested over years, and that's about it. No books from trees either anymore. Having mourned my dream of once having wanted to be a company, I see why that may have never aligned. Over 3 years, I've couriered only 2 pre-loved hoop bags and old packaging boxes that already existed, and now these 3 pouches reusing packaging. I've been selling and giving away all of my pre-loved hoops only locally to avoid shipping in order to live as minimal and waste-free as I can for the remainder of my life. Since I wasn't a company and hardly ever intend to be, considering the amount of shipping it involves and waste it contributes to, I suggested anyone who'd want to have one of these pouches to get it made locally by any nearby tailor using scraps he'd otherwise throw away. This way, I wanted to encourage everyone to carry whatever cutlery they already have at home and join me in the initiative to put an end to single-use plastic, wood, etc. from the root, but self-reliantly, so I don't have to be the company who puts my name on it. When I shared the video 7ish months ago, 3 humans, friends, fellow artists, dancers, whatever label one would resort to, showed interest in it, and despite my reluctance in making more and explaining they could get it done on their own, they insisted I make it for them, and the amount of faith they instilled pushed me to take it up. I made the exception, with love. But it took me many months to keep my promise. Also why I can't be a company with deadlines. I used more leftover old fabric to stitch 3 more, only in different prints. One of its kind, as repetition would mean going to buy more and hunt for the same, which is a mindset I no longer could comprehend timelines ago. Can't think in terms of mass production. The only heartbreaking thing about sending these, even if only locally or within India, was that couriers can't be sent without a layer of taping, which is so wasteful. Packaging in itself is the most wasteful. This is what terrified me even at the thought of being a brand or company that involves any of this. Being on the road to trying and stopping everything from my end has taken a toll on a lot of life decisions personally and professionally. I'm not sure the waste from couriers ends up in the landfill or does it even get recycled. And if what was produced was reduced, then no need to recycle itself, right? This thought process brought me to a place of promising to stop buying or taping hoops as well for this very same reason. Since years now, I've kept my promise of only using whatever was left over from my career as an ambitious hula hoop artist. I had stopped buying any product in 2020 itself and hence waited for what I already had to finish and then get plastic-free shampoo bar and soap and non-toxic floor cleaner from Rajni and then further use the same compostable packaging to send these cutlery pouches to the respective destinations. I used leftover tape to wrap the package, which broke my heart, but tried to be kind to myself and sent by India Post to Bangalore and Mumbai for Neha and Sudipta respectively. For the 3rd pouch, I got introduced to Swiggy Genie for sending one within the city of Delhi, which has been home to me for a mind-boggling 17 years. Just had to hand over, so no extra packaging here, but yes, the transportation and carbon footprint essay on this one too. Thank you, Supriya, for introducing me to this, the only time I use this thus far. Thank you, Neha, Sudipta and Supriya for choosing to have these, pushing me to once make them. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for understanding my intention of putting my foot down for sticking to pay what you want for this. We'll keep my essay on money, talent, skill, etc. for another time. I'm so grateful that this could be a success despite the differences in thoughts and opinions, the challenges of this system, and where we all are in terms of life and circumstance. Thank you for genuinely valuing my intention, effort, and creation and being so patient with me. I only hope that you are all using it well and single use cutlery ends with you all too. Finally, got the time amidst doing everything myself to compile this video to share here. Even though I know if I get any more requests for these, I know I'll not be able to make any now. Even though I have a box full of old fabric, I don't live with the privilege I once had. Most won't understand why I quit fashion, costumes, events, all of what was once my very livelihood, my passion, my everything, to only make do with minimal and stop everything that's causing earth harm that we can do from our end. It's been a challenge to explain my heart to family, to community, to humans without anyone thinking I've lost it. Today I could have made a lot of money being Amazon influencer, which I said no to in 2020, even though the repercussion of this decision is brutal since the system flourishes on just money. We're not taking money with us, but in pursuit of earning it, I can only hope we don't create more mess. Rather, we come together and stop whatever mess we can from our end and voice it, banking on companies to allow us, hear us, help us on this journey. Do you remember how Earth healed during lockdowns? Do you remember the images they showed us and what we experienced too? The blue skies, the birds chirping again, roads clean because humans were locked home, people making do with what already is, Operation Clean Earth, an opportunity universe had gifted us to change our every habit and convenience. Yes, it was brutal in terms of lives lost, relationships broken, dreams shattered, but it was a silver lining. Today I shudder to see how we've all quickly forgotten all the lessons and continue as if nothing was learned. The majority at least. Back to polluting, back to garbage, back to mindless consumption, back to non-stop production of single use, multiple use, packaging, this, that. Mostly out of not having a choice, courtesy, rigid system, or out of ignorance and convenience and lack of wanting to change anything but continuing to complain about the garbage mountains that are suffocating us as I read this out. I cannot do this. My conscience just won't allow me. Mostly everything I've put an end to or strictly avoid. Some so impossible to do anything about, so I try to be kind to myself and reassure that it will all change slowly, but I can't give up just yet and keep trying, keep voicing. If these ideas could be used by all devoid of copyright and all single-use cutlery producers can stop, just imagine the amount of garbage we can stop by our own actions first. Yes, I know some humans are making a living and feeding families by selling the very thing I'm trying to put an end to. But hey, can we be paid to plant trees perhaps or clean our world instead of making more to pollute it? My request to the ones making these to kindly try to see what I'm trying to say and stop and choose something else that is more in sync with nature. I can only do so much about the horde around me, the adults that not necessarily understand why I'm so particular cultivating habits like such, instead of just finger pointing and blaming and giving up. Even if ignored, mocked or laughed at, it is okay. I keep doing the needful. We can make changes alone, but the changes are effective when a lot more of us are in it together, mindfully, right? This is just one of the issues I try to address by doing the little I can. There's infinite more ideas I have for an ever-changing world and ever-changing India, which I hope I ever get time for. I thank you for making it thus far, sticking around to hear this much. If my intentions resonated with you, please help me spread the word. If the world could come together and make masks overnight, I believe this can be done so every human has theirs and single-use items are obsolete one fine day this lifetime. I pray we wake up, all of us, every single human, while we still have a chance on our one home, Earth.